Hey, you're listening to A Chat with Heart. I'm your host, Christina Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter, curious human. I live on a dirt road in rural Nova Scotia with my partner in crime, Dale, and our calico cat, Olivia. This podcast is basically just me chatting with people I admire. I like to ask questions that feed my curiosity, and my guests have all taught me something. They either crack me up or they punch me right in the feels. If you've got questions, comments, or a burning desire to join the conversation, please call my Heartbeat hotline, day or night. It's 1-902-669-4769. You can also email me at christinamartinmusic@gmail.com. And if you want to throw a little love my way and help keep this thing going, visit my Patreon page. That's how artists like me get paid. Thanks for showing up. Warning, heartfelt content ahead. If we just talk about it, we could shine a light, we could break a dark day. If we just talk about it, we can cut away, we can make a brighter day. Hey friends, it's Christina Martin, and you are listening to A Chat with Heart. So earlier this year, when I was out on my Home Roots tour, which is a tour where you play in rural communities in across Canada, mine was the northern Alberta and BC route, and this tour was booked by a company called Home Roots. And you play house concerts, legions, small community venues, and you play 2 weeks straight. Maybe you have 1 or 2 days off. But so it's a lot of driving and performing and not a lot of breaks. And you see a lot of the country. You see places that, you normally wouldn't really be able to see or travel to as they're off the beaten path. But on this Home Roots tour of northern BC and Alberta, I had the absolute pleasure of staying at Kispiox River Lodge, a stunning off-the-beaten-path hideaway nestled in northern British Columbia. And the lodge sits right on the banks of the Kispiox River, surrounded by mountains and wild beauty. It's a haven for outdoor lovers, especially folks who live for world-class fly fishing, which I found out. And it's also become a creative, cozy space for travelers, artists, and community gatherings. And that is where I met my guests today on the podcast, Simon and Hannah Stockner, the dynamic sibling duo who co-own and run the lodge. They've taken a local legacy and turned it into something deeply personal and visionary. So in our chat, we talk about everything from bullying growing up, childhood mischief, to financial hustling, and what it's like taking on a big dream like this incredible lodge, and the role that community has played in lifting them up. Because I'm a firm believer that we never really do anything alone. I mean, we can be the starting force and we put in so much of our time and energy, but it's very rare that you would have achieve anything big or great without the support of someone or something or a whole community over time. And these two, Hannah and Simon, I found them very honest and funny and grounded and absolutely inspiring. And honestly, I left that place feeling totally recharged, which can be rare on a long music tour. And it was a hard tour for me, just playing solo, which I used to do all the time. But I guess it's just not something that I really enjoy for the most part. I enjoy playing solo, but when it's on a stage with other songwriters and we take turns doing our songs and there's a collaboration there. So I guess I've grown to be someone who just really appreciates the collaboration, the musicality, like playing with other people. And so that was a hard tour for me to do everything on my own. But again, I wasn't alone. I had the support of the venues and the home routes and then the people that came out. So in any case, I left the Kispiox River Lodge feeling recharged. So before we dive into this chat with Hannah and Simon, a quick update from my world. If you're in Nova Scotia or wanting to visit Nova Scotia, I've got some upcoming shows and events. Come say hi and enjoy the shows. All the details are on my website, ChristinaMartin.net, on the tour page. But I am playing in September. I have 3 shows with my trio, which is Dale Murray, Hannah Melanson, and myself, and a string ensemble, a string trio. So I'm very much looking forward to those shows at Marigold Cultural Center in Truro on Friday, September 5th, King's Theatre in Annapolis Royal, and the Carlton in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I've never done this type of show, this formation, musical formation. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I don't get out to play as much as I used to. Less is more these days, and I think it's going to be really special. So I hope you can make it out or make the trip. And my Live at the Green Note album is officially out now on my Bandcamp. It's a super intimate performance from a favorite venue of ours in London, the Green Note. It's iconic. And when you grab the album on Bandcamp, you'll also get access to the full concert video, which I will personally email to you. I'm really proud of this one. It's just Dale and I, our guitars, Lapsteel Duesenberg, my Martin guitar. And for the first time ever, we've left in all the banter between the songs. So check that out. It will launch publicly on streaming sites Bandcamp Friday, June 6th, but you can get it now on my Bandcamp. All right, so let's get into this episode. Here's my heart-filled conversation with Simon and Hannah Stockner of Kispiox River Lodge in northern BC, Hazelton, BC. I've dropped their website in the show notes. Big shout out and thanks to them for hosting me. So welcome. How do you feel so far? You scared?
Yeah. Season 4, so you're a veteran. 4. How many years have you been?
It doesn't seem like a lot. Only 3.
By the way, we're interviewing you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. That's
so
whatever. How long have I been doing this?
First podcast, yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm a little nervous, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm excited. I feel like season 4 is going to be even closer to my goal of being chill and being yourself, because as you get older, you stop caring about.
She says that all the time.
Stuff. I mean, I don't mean you care about what matters.
Oh, you just don't give a crap about anything that you don't need to give a crap about anymore.
Exactly.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, we're praise. Here we go with the religious jargon as a secular being. Which we learned yesterday, secular, I can confirm that secular is a respectful way to say that you're not religious.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So...
I am secular?
I'm a secular being,
that's how you
I guess.
use it.
But it sounds religious. I'm a secular being.
Seculate, yes.
So it's a different way of saying, I'm an atheist?
Or
I think an atheist is you don't believe in any kind of, right?
Okay.
But a secular is all good. It's
yeah,
out there.
whatever.
I'm cool with it. I'm just not bad with it.
Yeah, I'm not hard, your God does not exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool.
All right.
Glad we got that out of the way. Have you guys ever been bullied?
I have very much been bullied.
Yeah?
In school, for sure.
How
Like almost swirly, headlock into the toilet, but it didn't get
why?
wet.
Do you know why? Just assholes?
Yeah, it was
I
a
guess.
Target, and there's assholes, yeah.
He was a nice quiet little
Very,
kid.
very
So easy pickings, I guess.
Yeah, they knew I wouldn't tell anyone kind of thing. Which was
I
true.
don't even know if I knew it was that bad.
Yeah.
That's
Kind of well.
I'm so sorry. I want to cry. Even my SSRI is allowing me to want to cry right now.
No, but it's everyone says this kind of thing. It's you should be thankful for everything that happened. It's I'm not, but I think it made me a humble person and made me aware of bullying, and it made me kind of who I am. You know?
So you've never done anything mean to anybody?
Oh, I've punched him in the face after. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. I support that.
No. Sorry, you mean I've never.
Have you done anything, either of you? Like, I've done things that were not nice. I was bullied, but also a bit of a bully-ish at times. Just reacting to things. Like, I what's it called? Gas pedal?
Gaslighting?
No, I'm not. No, I've never done gaslighting. I've been gaslighted, but
Gas pedal, like
gas pedal,
when you
like
just stomp.
yeah. And on like I had like there was this guy on the playground, and he tormented us and chased us, like the girls. And so one day I had my girlfriends hold him down, and I just stepped on his genitals. like I don't know how else to say it. I kicked him, and I got a lecture. Oddly enough, he was never lectured for tormenting us, but and then I never did it again. I mean, I wasn't a reoccurring thing. I don't do it today. Like wouldn't do that. I could see your concern.
Yeah, no. I'm just picturing. I was like, man, that's a scene in the schoolyard for sure.
It was. At the time, it felt good because I felt like it was someone who was
who deserved it. Or?
Well, he was bothering us. He was bullying us, and then us.
And of course, that's how it goes. It's someone that bothers you, and then you react, and then you get in trouble. And it's like, but why are we doing this in the first place?
Yeah,
because this guy.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done anything like that, or like that you felt was mean? Maybe in hindsight, it wasn't.
I remember just petty girls in high, girls are so vicious. And I remember, personally never initiating anything, but I do remember one time in high school, it was, my friend, all of a sudden, we weren't cool with this other girl, and she told me, I remember she's like, you should comment on, this was back in, 2008 or something, when Facebook was very new, and, this is how I don't know, it was all new and all fresh, and, we commented on people's things, and, this is how we did things, and it was, she was go comment on her photo, and, say something mean, and I remember being okay, and not even thinking through, there's no thought through, and then after being why that, I didn't have to do that, and then I remember messaging the girl later, being I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's good.
That wasn't coming from me. I don't know why I did that, but it's you look back and you're just because literally our brains are not fully developed until we're freaking 25, so we're literally idiots until then. So it's thinking back, it's I didn't think about it.
And when you're hiding behind a keyboard,
totally,
it's
that
just
too.
nothing, right? You're just typing, you're just buttons.
Yeah.
But then the other person is reading those words, and they hurt so much.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful.
But I did not like that. After they bothered me, and I remember reaching out to her, just being I'm so sorry. Yeah. She made me do it, kind of thing. But being that was my choice. But I don't know.
Good for you though for saying getting back to her, and I mean that's how would you know how bad it felt if you hadn't have done that, and then probably never did it again.
Yeah.
Or have
and
you?
It was the dumbest. No, I don't think so. No,
it's good.
Yeah, it's so weird though.
I mean, I've done prank calls.
Oh yeah.
But they were funny.
Totally. My friend and I used to hide in her room with her when we call random numbers and be hey, is Stella there?
Yeah.
No. Oh, sorry. And that's badasses.
Wow, you could have learned from me.
Yeah.
Do you remember I don't know if you guys ever did this one, but ring ring, your refrigerator's running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The classic Bart Simpson.
Yeah. Or we just order pizzas for people and deliver them to their house.
That's
fantastic.
Well, it's so bad for the business now that I think of it. As a self-employed.
Oh yeah.
I guess you'd hope that they
people are showing up.
Sure, I'll pay for these pizzas.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're just
interesting.
But yeah.
Segue to being self-employed. Here I am am I pronouncing this right? I was scared to say it last night on stage. Kispiox?
Kispiox.
Yeah.
Oh, I do say the
Kispiox.
River Lodge.
Yes.
And you two are the proud owners, brother and sister. I will have done an introduction, so don't think this is a full intro. Who the fuck are these people? Where I go a little in depth and say where I am. But actually, I'd like to hear it from you because I know a roundabout where I am. I think I'm wrong if I say I'm in the center of British Columbia. Where are we?
Geographically, you're 4 hours north of the center like
Like
northwest.
like PG is like
No, Vanderhoof.
oh Vanderhoof.
That's what
That's what they told me the other
It's
day.
the geographical center of
Yeah.
it. So we're only like 4 or so hours away from there.
Yeah.
And Vanderhoof is also the home of the inspiration of the song Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams.
What?
What?
These are fun facts
No,
you
it's
learn.
not.
Wait,
a
go
lot.
back.
Yes.
What?
Yes. The guy who.
Vanderhoof
The guy
is the
who.
influence of the summer
Got my-
of 69.
Yes, I got my first real 6-ring butter at the Five and Dime, which is in Vanderhoof, and like the guy who wrote it with Bryan Adams is from there, and I talked Jimmy.
I have
Jimmy
some friends in
something?
Vanderhoof that I need to speak to.
Yeah, you should confirm
And
it.
they're one of them
you
is
know about
musical.
this?
Yeah, like he would know.
I love
sure he
that
would know.
I'm
Dylan.
bringing this information to you. There was some other fun fact about Vanderhoof other than it being the center of BC, but I can't remember what it is right now. But that was a big one.
I know it. I know the
What?
fun fact. Super fun fact. You guys ready?
Yeah.
It has the most churches per capita.
Yes, that was it. That was it.
It is though. It has something like that. It has the
Yeah.
most churches out of any other small town or whatever, like in
Yeah.
Canada or something. Like
Okay, so now we're in Kispiox.
yeah.
What are
Least
the
churches.
least? Okay, yeah. Let's go through the fun facts of this place. Because I mean, I have little heartbeat listeners from all over Germany who like to travel. Obviously, Nova Scotia, big audience there. So what are some of the fun facts about this place? Yeah, what makes it special?
Kispiox. Okay,
Kispiox, yeah.
maybe do we want to? Because Kispiox is the village.
Okay.
So Kispiox Valley is kind of like above the village where we are now. Or there's the Hazeltons, which
Oh,
is
yes.
kind of the town that we live in, but we're out of town. Where are we?
We're out of town.
Do you want to?
What's-
is
yeah,
your
what's-
question
what's-
specifically about? Like,
That's a good question.
valley
Well, you know
where
what
we
you were
are,
telling
or
me
like-
about, like, so if somebody comes to this region, like you were talking about fishing, which is
Sure.
I know some fly fishers, and you two grew up just down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 5 minutes up the road.
I do want to talk about that. But so actually, tell me about growing up here, and then some of the fun things that are sort of within a radius of, I don't know, like whatever, 50K. What's local?
I have an idea. Let's back up
Yeah,
a bit even,
okay.
and we'll start from when mom and dad moved here.
Yeah,
and
let's talk about your
touches
parents.
on the river and the fish too, because my
Okay.
dad he's like a super outdoorsy guy. He's always loved fishing, and he grew up as kind of a fishing guide, and he's been doing that for a long time. And
Todd.
you heard of Todd
Nice
Stockner.
guy.
You
Nice
met
guy.
him. Yeah.
I took a shower in the bathroom. He upgraded.
Glad you said upgrade.
Yeah, glad I clarified that
He was not.
I just took a shower. And just, sorry, Kathy. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, they heard of this place. He was working in the Babine, and they heard they made some friends, and he came over here, and they fell in love with it.
They're from Vancouver.
From
Just-
Vancouver,
just-
totally,
They're
yeah.
starting in Vancouver.
We know Vancouver.
See,
Everyone
they're-
knows Vancouver.
They were city kids moving up to the Kispiox Valley, and it's funny. I just asked like Ruth Brady, one of the old timers around here, like, what was it like when mom and dad moved here? And I was like, oh, we love them. They're just sort of like clueless city kids who just like were just living life and like just high on life, and had
Getting
a
out to the
3-year-old,
country, yeah.
Hannah here. And I was
3-year-old
born here, yeah.
Hannah.
But yeah, so like, I mean, so Hannah came with them. I was born a year later or whatever.
Yeah.
And the river, the fish in the river is what brought them here, because my dad he wanted to do his own guiding business, and the Steelhead run is one of the most amazing runs here in the Kispiox.
Steelhead, that's a fish.
That's a fish.
It's a kind of
That's
trout,
like the
yeah.
fish.
It's
Got
the
it.
trophy fish around here. Yeah,
Is the head hard? Like steel? Is that why it's called a
It's
steelhead?
colored
It's like
differently.
very metallic-y,
Yeah.
silvery.
Like they're
Yes.
very silvery when they come out of the ocean, because they live their life like a salmon, where they lay their eggs in the river and then they go and live their life in the ocean. Unlike salmon, because salmon die when they spawn, which is a beautiful thing, honestly, because their nutrients feeds our animals and forests here. It's a whole other topic. But steelhead go back to the ocean. They keep coming back and forth, and they get really big and smart.
Very powerful.
And
So
powerful,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like the thrill of the
sport.
fight of
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
one, hook one, and it's battle, and that's the
Yeah.
thing people chase.
Dad, there was a name. Dad would say a big fish, a big steelhead is like 30 pounds, but even like 40 pounds or more is like a big fish, right?
Wow.
And Dad would call that the Frederick.
Yeah,
Hannah and Dad had a
Frederick. I don't know how many people around here know if that's just like a family thing or if that's like a thing around the valley. But like when I was a kid, this whole Frederick thing started where Dad would call like the mythical giant steelhead that everyone's after.
Yeah.
Called Frederick. And when I was like 8 or 10 or however old it was, little, I wanted to get my ears pierced.
Yes.
And the thing my parents said was, okay, fine, you can get your ears pierced when I catch Frederick. That's
okay.
what my dad said. So
that
was
was
like,
always
okay.
the...
You know, it's like, okay, this will shut her up for a couple months or a year or whatever. And so I remember, like, at the time, like, we only had one vehicle, so Mom would be picking us up from school and then going to grab Dad from the river.
Yeah.
And I'd be down on the river, did you catch Frederick? Like, every day. Just obsessively. And,
God.
he never caught Frederick. And
It just became a thing where you wanted a car when you got older, and you're well, you can get a car.
No,
when
I think I threw a tantrum one day when my best friend got her ears pierced before me, and that was enough of that. So my mom was just like, "We're gonna shut this girl up right now. Get in the car.
Yeah,
we're gonna go."
I'll pierce her ears.
So, anyways, but totally Frederick is it's like the mythical.
For sure. And you would see them like every now and then on a float. You just this
Huge.
dark movement. You think it's like a beaver or something, but it's like no, that was a fish.
Or people actually hook them, and it's like the biggest fight, and they lose it, and they come home just distraught, like I had the one.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like it's fun because it keeps people chasing.
And they catch and eat or catch and release.
Catch and release.
Yeah.
It's like a law.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So. Here at the lodge, you wouldn't be serving steelhead?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Steelhead, it's not. I don't think I've ever. I mean, people do eat it somewhere, but it's not like the tastiest. It's not like a sockeye.
Yeah.
Like sockeye salmon is delicious.
Yeah.
I think steelhead is. Yeah. It's not like favorable for for cuisine.
Local Gitxsan Nation can keep fish if they want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
that's how you ended up here.
That's all that to say. Yeah, that's kind of how we ended up here. And when we grew up, just 5 minutes down the road from where we're sitting.
And you went to this place where we're sitting now, and you were familiar with it, obviously.
A little bit. When we were kids,
Yeah.
it was open, and there were like I was here. All there was a thing at the lodge, and Mom and Dad would go. And
I have one super vague memory of being here when we were like kids, sitting like right here. There used to be all different booths and stuff, and in the lounge that was like a no kid zone, so the parents would go over there to drink. And I have a very vague memory of being here for dinner one time, and like Mom and Dad went to the just went over there to the bar, and we were sitting here like, what the heck? Or whatever.
There's like a strip club over there.
And we're just awkwardly milkshake.
Totally.
Mom and Dad have their little time together, and
but very, very vague memories. It was
that's like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So we're
like
kids.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, late. Yeah. I was like.
I guess so. But then I mean, I don't really know what happened because we were just kids doing our own thing. But this place just kind of went. I don't know who even owned it at that point, but anyways, it just it just closed. It just whoever had it just closed. I don't really know what happened, but it just for the most of our upbringing, like our whole kind of adolescent teenage years, this was just an empty building. Really, like no one really had it. There was maybe a couple years here and there where there was some weird owners that had it. There was funny business happening here. No one really knew what happened. My buddy and I in like high school, I think we're like, I think someone owns it. Let's go see what happened. We came here and like. No one was here. There was some weird guy behind it, and we're like, "Can we get food?" And they were like, "Okay." It was just a weird vibe.
They put out a can of SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, it was just like I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know.
Kind
it
of
was
a front sort of vibe, like just.
It was. I think there was like some weird mischievous
sketch.
business going on here, and
some grow-ups in the basement or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like.
I remember grow-ups.
Totally.
I mean, like now it's like everything's.
Summer.
I don't know who would be motivated to have a grow up. I guess you can. Well, it's all legal now, so.
Yeah.
Speaking of legal, I'm going to come back around to this, but somebody told me, can you clarify this for me, that they've legalized illicit drug use in British Columbia. Do you know any? I don't know if you guys are drug users, but illicit drug users, but like that it's not illegal to use illicit drugs. It probably to sell them, but like
I have heard something like
to
that.
decriminalize it so that people aren't punished for living with the disease and.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. I don't. Listen to
well,
the news
this is the whole focus of this chat with Heart podcast interview.
Okay.
Substance abuse.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were specialized. and working on the opioid crisis. So, no. Okay.
Yeah, not my.
Now that you say that, I remember someone bringing that up or seeing an article or something, but I don't.
Just so you know, if you wanted to start a habit.
That's great to know.
Yeah, it's up there. It's
Thank
available.
you.
It's legal.
Mm-hmm. It's legalized.
Great.
And, if you want to report someone's having a hard time, you won't go to jail if you're using with them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's across Canada. I hope. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. Let's go back to this place was a dump. And you came here one time and were not inspired.
No.
How did you end up getting it to this gorgeous place that it is now?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, okay, so from that point of maybe coming here one time and it was weird to now,
Yeah.
many a year have passed.
Mm-hmm.
But
You had-
I don't like
You had other jobs and stuff?
totally like all our high school, post high school, we were just off doing things. We had no idea what this place was doing.
Yeah,
And
no
then-
thoughts of it really.
And then
But we did have thoughts of her and I doing something together.
yeah, throughout
Well,
the
at
years
some
we've always
point-
just fantasized
Like,
and
you guys got
chatted
along
and-
always? Like, you
No,
are always...
no.
So go back to
No, this is the heart of the matter.
Go
Let's
back
go...
to the bullying question
Go
at the
back.
beginning. I'm so glad he didn't rat me out.
Oh, really?
I was just
This happens.
bratty
Yeah,
older sister.
yeah, because it's amazing that you guys work together, and obviously you got to get along.
Totally. I think we got all of our shit out when we were kids.
Good.
And now we're just cool.
Yeah.
So, no.
We started watching Friends, the TV show, and smoking weed together.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys.
And that's it.
Bonding.
It was- yeah,
Yes, that is.
totally. We're big fans, actually.
We just watched it again. My husband
Oh, yeah.
and I watched
Really?
it the whole way through.
Nice.
great.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
like communicate in friends quotes.
We very
Like we'll
much
just
can.
go off and we'll just start.
Like someone mentioned something.
And then we'll like,
And then we'll
oh,
just
and
be
then
like-
we'll like start quoting, and people will be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just leave them. They're doing.
That's
their thing.
really
Yeah,
cute.
yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cute. Do you
Yeah.
play? Do you have a favorite character from Friends that you like to
Oh.
play the part of when you do?
We always
like, are
ask
you
each
just-
other this, I feel
I don't
like.
even know how to answer that. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
they
like-
all they
all of
each
them are
had
so
their
funny, like-
so many magic moments.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show is so well written.
So you must have been very sad with the news of Matthew.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Sad.
Yeah. Okay, I keep dipping and getting into intense.
okay.
I think what we were getting at was
all
was-
roads lead to drug and
basically-
substance abuse.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we've-
Yeah.
throughout our lives,
Yeah.
in-
love, hate, love,
Love,
hate.
hate.
Like,
There's
yes.
a few stages in there.
Yeah. But mostly in our
But-
adult lives.
And then,
cool.
and then when we were like young adults, we ended up realizing. Hannah was thinking like, yeah, like you want to do stuff with food, thinking of like a cafe, like that sort of. And I was, I'm playing music, and I was touring, and I was kind of in this like music world of like, oh, like music venue, like I would love that would be a thing I would want to do.
And just to interject here, we
Yeah.
both went to school. I went to school
Yeah.
for culinary arts. He went to school for music.
Yeah.
So that's like our thing. And
Totally.
so it was like, how do we combine forces?
food, music, yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
And it was like, wait a minute, like I want to have like a venue thing. Like, wait a minute,
You want to
you want to have like a cafe thing? It's
And
like,
then it was just like it started being fun.
And then we started. It was like really
Oh.
fun. We just were like had like ideas and notes and like on our phone, just like, oh yeah, what about? And we would just kind of keep like.
every now and then, it wasn't like serious.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't
just
like,
every time we got
okay,
together.
when we, you know.
It
Yes.
was like, oh man, what about this? And like, oh dude, we gotta have this. And
Yeah.
like, you know, but kind of being like, no, we like kind
Like,
of dialed
like
in,
kind of thinking like, okay,
yeah.
like eventually this
would
probably
be
will
cool,
happen, you
but
know.
we were
but
not
we
thinking
weren't
at
like
all,
when actually let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Kind
Yeah.
of
It's a
thing.
process,
Yeah.
like of dreaming and scheming, and then
Yeah.
leading.
And then 3 years ago,
It's kind of like how
like as of like this winter, like yeah,
Yeah.
Or I guess like last fall, but yeah,
but life has a way of working it out. And like we were both off doing very separate things at the time.
Yeah.
Like I was living in Terrace with my ex-partner at the time and our child, and all is well now. But in that moment, it was things were a little chaotic in my life, and I was needing to take a break and go on a different path.
yeah,
And kind of like, I don't know how we kind of like ended up here on, at least on my end, on a whim. I was living in Terrace, not happy with my life, and being like, okay, I need to make it back out Valley and do something for myself, come live with mom and dad for a bit. I work sometimes up at another lodge that's further up Valley.
yeah.
And so like that fall on a whim, I messaged them, they needed one more person. So I ended up being out Valley that fall. That fall you were supposed to be off doing rafting adventures and stuff, or that day at least.
Oh yes, because you do that too. That's
That-
Yeah,
that's
I do
like
that.
Come back to
during
that.
that time you were off doing a whole bunch of
Yeah.
rafting stuff.
And I was also at kind of a broad crossroads where I was finished with my band life.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because that was like my mission for a long time. Me and my two buddies were on this pretty serious band, and then it was like I was just kind of bartending in the winter and rafting in the summer, but I was like, what do I like want to like do anyway? And then
but then there was like this one day where it was like I was out at mom and dad's because I had followed my gut and made my way up valley and was there and all good. And you were supposed to be off on a rafting trip and like got canceled because of weather. So whatever, we're both just at home for dinner with mom and dad.
Yep.
And we got to chatting about stuff. And then our dad had brought up like, oh, did you guys know that Lee and Dave were selling the lodge? Because at that point we kind of knew some valley locals had this place and we were kind of bringing it back to life, kind of opening it back up. But we didn't like whatever. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah.
But dad was like, no, they're selling. They're trying to sell the lodge. Like, you guys should think about that. And it was literally one of those moments where we were like, no, what?
Dude, no, are you
How
kidding me?
could
it
we?
was
Yeah.
Like,
Pause,
I was like,
eye contact.
second.
wait,
Is this what we've been dreaming as teams?
lodge, yeah, it's like, wait. And then like that,
Down the road from my parents?
That night, we were like,
gave
like,
him
no,
a call.
we couldn't do this. And they were like, you should just call them. Just call them right now.
Your parents.
We're like, it's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Just call them. You know, whatever. And we're like, okay. So we somehow we found their number. They had their number for this place. And we called them. And we know them, not super closely at that time, but we knew them. We called them up and it's like, hey, Lee, it's Hannah and Simon here. Just wondering if we could come by. We heard that you had the lodge up for. We're just super curious. Could we come see it? You know?
Yeah.
Just thinking it'd be like, okay, like next tomorrow or whatever. They're like, yeah, sure, why not? Come on by. So like Simon and I came down that evening. It was like
That
dark
evening,
outside. We came in and we had no idea what they had done with this place. In my head, it was still just like, oh, who
no
knows?
idea.
Just an old lodgy dusty. And we walked in and was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this place, that's okay.
And so they had had it for 5 years and basically flipped the place, you could say.
Yeah,
it was
like
in
when
really
they
rough
got
shape.
it.
They like renovated the floor. They like put like these fixtures in and like
Okay,
bathrooms,
wow.
this, that, here.
It was, like,
redid
falling
the
apart
kitchen,
when
this
they got
wall.
it,
Like
yeah.
that's what they did with it. That was their
Okay.
contribution to this building.
Totally.
You know? And they did some things, but they weren't
They
really.
had some
They weren't
events.
really.
Well,
on top
COVID
of-
hit, right?
Yeah,
like
COVID,
they were opening up to like open the lodge again, and COVID
Oh.
hit, and they were like, "Fuck! Like, what does this
Yeah,
look like?" And
yeah.
you know,
Yes.
they're a bit older, and was just like, "We don't have the energy
Not-
to put in for all
Yeah.
of this," you know. And fair enough. And so it was. So, anyways, yeah. So that was another reason. And so when we showed up, it was just like,
we came. Was it that night or the night before, or whatever, the night later? I think that we just came over here and just
They walked us around
just
'cause
gave
it
a
was
tour, and
amazing.
It was
Like-
it was like mind blowing. We're like
Yeah.
this. We just. I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel like I just like saw where we are now. In a
Yeah.
way. We're just sort of like whoa, like images of like the events we can do and like the possibility of like and having the property and there's just a future here. And,
oh, within 5 minutes
Like-
of coming here, it was like, "Okay, we have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do this. There's no way we
Yeah.
can't do this."
yeah,
Like-
and it's like we both wanted to like be close to home still, and it just
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
made sense.
It really
and
made
basically
sense.
from then we were just okay, like how can we? Because if we don't have the funding, we wouldn't have. You know,
It was like, how do we do
nothing
this?
Really, like, our
Yeah.
family,
Literally starting
like,
from ground zero.
We just were like, okay, let's go, and we started to look at like grants or
Like new business.
from the bank.
Yeah,
grants,
we
but
were gonna go to the bank.
like a loan essentially from the
Yeah.
bank.
We put together like a whole business plan, like a legit business plan.
Like I was doing spreadsheets. We were like
Oh,
looking at
yeah,
like
estimations and
estimate
stuff.
like
Yeah.
financial estimations and stuff.
Yep.
And they were very impressed. Like they were all good to go. But then there was a brick wall hit where because we were that was just to get a down payment, and then we still owe Dave and Lee. And by the way, like the deal that they were giving us is actually a pretty good one with them. They're kind of like our bank and everything. I won't go into that, but there was a brick wall hit where
We
both
realized
the bank and them couldn't be.
We just couldn't go with the bank.
Yeah,
like
we
there was
couldn't go
just
with the bank,
weird
yeah.
discrepancies with how it was being. I don't know. We just like, oh, we can't.
If
do
something
this with the
went
bank.
wrong, who gets paid off first? And the
Right.
bank was like, well, we can't be. Obviously, they would get paid off first, and we would still be stuck with. It's hard. Yeah. Anyway. So then we rewrote it, and we went internally into our family, and was like asking mom and if there was any inheritance we could grab from grandpa, and
Yeah, basically, long story short, our family helped us out
yeah,
tremendously.
Yeah. So
You murdered your grandfather for money. That's
yeah.
a really good, smart way to go.
I knew there was something.
How?
We needed to cut. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great that you
Yeah.
could. Why not, right? What's the worst they could say? It's not like you're gonna stop loving them
Totally.
if they say, "Well, that's a great idea, but we can't do that."
Yeah, no, it's all good. And honestly, I mean, like Lee and Dave, who we got the lodge from, they like it worked out so well because of course they had a couple other people interested.
Yeah.
It was like who knows who, like big wig rich people from who knows where who just wants to buy a lodge and do whatever. So it was like local people who want it. Yes, we will help you. Like
That's
we'll
great.
do whatever. So like it was so nice. Like we really worked together, and like. Because it's not like, oh yeah, we're just not ready right now. We'll just wait for the next lodge in the valley to come up. It's like, no, this is our shot. Like we have to somehow make this happen.
This is perfect.
And so we did. The family really, it was, yeah. It was
Yeah, long
awesome.
story short, we still owe our family a lot.
Yeah.
But it's
We all
so
do,
great
we all
because we're
do.
just it's just within the family. Like
Yeah.
we're not working with a bank right now. We will eventually, but like it's just
That feels
that's just
good.
our whole, it's a family venture. Is
Yeah.
what we are, you know, and we're just
And what's the interest rate that the family? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
no, that's just it.
I'm surprised that there isn't a credit union that's called like Family First, and that just like, you know, that's their kind of vibe. Is that we're like family and super low interest rates, and
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't last. But anyway, I digress. Well, it's really remarkable. So I came here yesterday as part of the Home Roots tour, which you guys have been. Tell me about how you connected with Home Roots. So we did a show here, and a bunch of locals showed up. It was super, super great, cozy, lovely people, and the sound was great. You do have a great setup here. I'm only traveling with a little amp, and this was nice to come in and be like, oh, thank God they have a proper sound system. The food was incredible. I slept here. Like, I experienced it all. I had a shower.
Yes.
Your dad's hot shower.
Yeah.
Again, I need to rephrase that. But, I'm in. Like, I love this place.
Awesome.
Super cozy. So how did you get connected with Home Roots?
For sure, that was our good friend Andy down the road. She's another local here, and well, I mean, I've also heard of Home Roots before. It's been a thing.
As a musician,
She
you
kind of
probably-
caught on to she caught on to it, and she held a show. I think you went to that show. You and Dad went
the
to
first
that
one was at
the hall, or community hall, which is basically just across the road from us. Nice,
Yeah, just a couple minute walk up the road.
but not a Home Roots vibe. You know, you're sitting in a hall.
It was just
with
so
a
big,
few people.
and there was just like a few chairs
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, screw that." Called us like, "Can we partner up here, and I'll be the kind of Home Roots rep, and then you guys can just do your thing, and I'll send you music." And yeah, we work well together. Like, I make the posters, and she puts them up, and then we do our thing, and she comes and kind of helps every now and then, and
Yeah.
she couldn't make it to your.
I know, she was sick last night. And met her family, met the kids. They're awesome.
They're awesome.
The twins, they're going to think about it, but I've invited them to come on the podcast and talk about being twins.
Cool.
And one of them was a little nervous, but I said, well, think about it. You don't have to. But listen to the podcast if you know. Maybe they'll listen to this and then be like, oh, we can do that.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
I imagine it would be scary as a child to be asked to do kind of like an interview, or, you know,
Yeah,
like
It's like,
totally.
if you don't
public
know.
speaking. What? Like, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it took me 45 years to really be super comfortable in
Well, it's-
almost any situation.
It's funny, last night when I was sitting at this table with the kids and you were finishing up, and you were speaking,
Yeah.
Ella, she said, wow, she's really good at speaking in front of people. I don't know if I could do that. And I was
Oh.
like, well, you know, she practices a lot. She's like, I can dance in front of people. And I was like, wow,
That's-
you do that. You practice
yeah.
it a lot.
I
can't do
can't.
that, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, wow, she does it a lot.
Yeah.
She just is comfortable now.
Trial and
Do
error.
things enough, you get comfortable with it. And she's like, oh, right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to mention that was one of my favorite parts of your show.
Thanks. I'm thinking of expanding
your
it.
storytelling.
No.
Yeah.
Like, just get rid of the music.
Yeah, if you could have played last time, honestly.
I
No,
I have
really-
been asked before. Could you just?
I would say that was one of the most captured.
Rambling,
yeah.
blabber.
La-di-da,
Yeah.
boring.
Yes, I
You know what I'm
agree.
talking about, yeah.
I concur.
No, I mean, you captured the crowd so well. Everyone felt like
Thank
they were
you.
right in there with you. And you were telling stories. Like, it wasn't just little intros. You were, like, going on and on.
I
But
was,
You were seriously, though. Like, I know
Thanks.
few other artists who are so good at just, like, talking to a crowd and making everyone feel welcome, like they're a part of what you're doing. That's what that was like a
Thanks
big
for
takeaway.
saying that. I trial and error. I don't always get it right. That's for sure. But I definitely have some misses. But when I started in Austin, Texas, I went out to see, before I even wrote a song, I was introduced to singer-songwriters, and it was just them and their guitar, and I really admired the between-song banter, and I felt like I didn't know how to do that, but I thought, well, I want to get good at that. And when it's just you on stage, and I mean, unless your music is just, I don't know, I'm sure there are artists that don't need to, but I just feel like for what I do, it's important. And it's all, music for me, songwriting is about learning how to communicate. And so it just kind of fits in with that whole intention, I suppose.
Do you feel like banter in the connect with the crowd and talking to a crowd and the banter and stuff, would you say that is it helps to be almost like, just, it depends on who you are, or is it something you can really just work on no matter who you are and you get good at it?
You
can, a little bit of both, maybe, like it helps to
you can work on it. I've worked on it. I mean, I think I even just on this trip I signed up with Masterclass again to get just be inspired by these like world-class leaders in different areas in the arts and business. And I was listening to Lamar Burton from Reading Rainbow. Do you guys, am I too old do you guys remember Reading Rainbow?
Nope.
It's okay. Check it out. It's not too late. This could be your next binge. I wonder if it's available online, like in series. But Lamar's a storyteller and an actor and a producer director. But he was on the show, Reading Rainbow, where the focus was reading to children and storytelling and talking about difficult things, and through storytelling, helping kids sort through life. And
can I interject just because?
Please do.
I've written 2 chapters of a kid's book.
You did?
I told you that.
This is interesting.
That's a whole thing about me. I love fantasy and that kind of thing, and I've always wanted to write a book. And recently, my girlfriend made me realize that I could just
do whatever you want.
I could write it. Like, I'm thinking, epic Game of Thrones, like crazy. But I'm like, what if I just write like a kid's book?
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be a good writer to write. Like I was reading a book to her daughter. She has a 5-year-old.
Aww.
And we're reading this book. It's like, man, this book is awesome. And it's about this like kid, like dragons. And it's like so simple, and it's like the writing is just like it's nothing crazy, but it's like there's a story here, and it's about story building as opposed to like writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
good.
And just talk about like working with telling stories to kids. Or whatever.
I don't need to talk more. This is good. You want to think?
Just on that note, I have to interject with this because you said like
you want to illustrate his book?
Yeah, I totally can.
Yes,
I do art.
Look at this. We're making
dragons. No,
but also exactly, they do not have to be complex at all. Like our favorite, Liam and I, my son Liam, he's 5 too. We have lots of stories that we read. One of our favorites is still just like a board book. It's a baby book, but it's freaking hilarious.
Oh, cool.
The only dialogue in the whole book is just moo. It's a whole story about a cow. Like a cow steals a car and crashes it, but literally every page is just moo in a different way, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, cool.
That's awesome.
It's the simplest thing, but we are like busting a gut laughing. It takes 30 seconds to read, but it's hilarious. And you just need to be like super clever and super simple. And anyone can do that.
Storytelling is not always Game of Thrones. I love it, but it could just be telling a story in whatever way.
So you could illustrate it?
I could totally.
She is a
and you can sell it here, you guys. You can sell it here and on your website, and this is amazing.
Yes, I also dabble in the arts. Well, mostly culinary arts lately.
The darks.
I used to draw and create things and stuff. So
I'm excited, you guys.
Draw some squiggly lines.
Because I was going to ask you about bucket list items. Like, I mean, you've got this place, and it's only 3 years in. I mean, you've got as long as you guys want to do this is pretty awesome. All the different things you can do here. Tell me, we'll talk about bucket list items, but I do want people to know, like, what are the things you offer here? Like, what kind of things happen here on a regular basis? And
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
You guys are great. God.
Yeah, with
I want to be your sibling.
Would love that for us.
Yeah, we'd love that for you too.
Yeah, I was just I'll say like with the like I mentioned last night, and I can't remember if I mentioned it
In this
right?
podcast?
But
Yeah.
like kind of as of this time of year, we kind of call it it's like our anniversary because we did take it over officially in March 1st of 2022. So with 3 years under our belt, we do feel pretty confident with like what we're doing, and a few things that stand out to us and what we've done so far are what we did last night for sure. Like we will always want to do like music nights because honestly, that's like, and I realized this recently, that's like literally living a dream that I've had. You know, to have a venue, and then there's you with like we were like that is like the.
I think I want to do this now.
Totally.
Like, yeah.
At the same time, we've also realized that we can't do that forever. We can't be like a restaurant. We can't. That's not a consistent thing that's sustainable that we can.
And also that's just not where we make our like restaurants do not make that much money and stuff. So just operating that way is not.
Yeah, I didn't pay for my food last night. So I get it.
No, but so what we have realized though, and it's still amazing and still a good feel thing that we do here is having a group come and stay here for like a whole weekend or a week, and whether it's like a family gathering,
Private group bookings.
Yeah, private.
My girlfriends.
Hell yeah.
Like my 50th.
Girls group weekend thing. Wedding, even we have actually a hand fasting. Do you know what hand fasting is?
Hand fasting.
Does it involve me not eating your food? 'Cause I'm not interested if
it's not
it's
using your hands. No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
it's like a Gaelic
It's like
or
a
Celtic
pagan. It's like a pagan.
wedding, but not wedding.
It's not a wedding, but it's like
So you do that here?
celebrating your.
No, sorry. This is just we have a quote unquote wedding coming up.
Oh,
With a really cool couple, they're doing a hand. We're saying hand fasting because that's what they want us to do.
Yes,
Cool.
It's
You
like
put your
they
hand on,
and
and
they tie ropes, and
it's
it's really cool.
Anyway, well, I'm just trying to say.
and then they
weddings.
split a goat's neck.
yeah. And drink from the bowl. No, but just sacrifices. That's what we want to do here.
Listen, whatever brings in the money is I'm
We're very niche here. Yeah.
you know, you're not judgmental.
I feel like there's not like a clean 30 seconds of this whole conversation without us just like freaking out or like talking about. So private events is one thing for sure, and then and in this I want to go a little further actually because with that we could also offer things, and this is what my brain is turning, but we could offer like rafting, like want to get some raft gear, and we could actually offer rafting on the river and have like a lunch on the river. We could have like a farm tour set up for people to go and do. You know, we could have a hike, like a directions to a hike or something, like, or take them on a hike or whatever. We want to be a bit of a resort, a destination that whether it's just travelers, like a couple coming and want to do stuff in the valley, or a whole group booking us for a weekend, and we want to have things to do. You know, we have So
those
kind
are
of an all-in-one.
Overall, kind of like that's what we will hopefully one day will like that. All of those.
It's
things.
evolving.
Yeah.
Horseback riding? Can I horseback ride?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
we need to work on
Yeah,
this.
we don't have
on this
these
connection.
like this. We can't right today offer these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
big picture for sure.
Well, we could offer. Yeah, there's our things that I've just put in an email. Just
you guys will figure it
just
out.
an hour ago. It's
Yeah.
like rafting is potential, farm tours are potential. We just like queue it up with her.
Your dad fishing? Is he do?
Exactly,
Okay,
right?
Yeah. What else? We also
Cooking
do
classes? Sourdough courses?
No, I don't teach.
Okay, that's fine. I can't. I didn't mean to. I was because your sourdough is really hot. Like here, it all went out last night. Like you had it set up by the merch table, and you sold more sourdough bread than I did CDs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's that everybody wants food, and sourdough, like good bread, is like I sometimes think I should just have focused on like one thing, maybe just making a good loaf of bread, and then you can actually make a living from that, I think, in certain cities.
In all fairness, I would have definitely bought music over bread. Bread only lasts like
Really?
like a
No,
day.
not her bread. Not Hannah's bread. It was gone. Yeah.
Bread is in right now.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Good.
I think it's been in for like a while.
It has
like
been,
it's
yeah.
like just this
Bread.
week.
Bread.
Just breaking
Hot
news.
take.
I've heard
Yeah.
of
Hot
that.
take. Have you guys tried
is this
bread?
a new fad?
It's
Been
so
feeding starving people for years,
Yes.
like as a but it doesn't
Staple of like life. Yes.
staple of life.
Yeah.
If you don't have
every
anything
single
else,
culture. And, yeah.
I guess you can survive on bread.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We Now I forgot. Wait.
Wait.
So,
Let's talk.
You guys are good. You guys should
other things that we do here.
you guys should co-host this podcast when I get back home. We'll just all be on Zoom because you're good at this. When I fail, my brain fails. You just pick right back up. Like
Yes.
Okay, but where were we?
We also do catering.
Ooh.
Trying to get into catering side of things because food. Everyone wants food. I love doing food. Doing the restaurant style is not the best way for us to make a living off of doing food here. We like to do it for the music nights here and there, but like catering. So yeah, having those private groups come, we cater them. I do lots of external catering, like dropping off lunches and stuff in town.
Oh, yeah.
So that's cool. I like to kind of like focus more on that a bit too. Yeah.
That's great.
And
like all that. That's a lot.
yeah.
It is a lot, yeah. In again, this is kind of tying into like the private group umbrella of what the things we can offer. But Christmas banquets is a big one. So at Christmas time, local groups are booking nice big dinners.
Yeah.
We
So, like,
we put on a good like 30 to 50 people in here, having food on. And
yeah, so that's like fun. That's like it's so fun for us when we have those. Yeah, like kind of a big private group. There's just a vibe in here.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. You know, they're doing their thing, and we just get to like host and feed them, and it's so fun. And then they leave having an awesome night here, and yeah, that's
like
so
where
fun.
we're looking to make our it's kind of bread and butter.
Yes,
But
this is
then
fun.
let's not forget that we just kind of tying back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But in the fall, so from September to October, those are the 2 main months. Steelhead are in the river. So we have people coming from all over the world really.
We don't guide out of the lodge yet. One day, of course, we'd love to. So yeah, we don't have guides here. We take people out, but we have just fishing people come and stay with us, and we feed them and house them and all the things. But it's just it's such a fun vibe.
It's a scene here, yeah.
It's a scene,
And also, even to go back further, the history of this building again is so tied to that because for so long it was the fishing hub. Like it actually used to be called the Sportsman's Lodge before the Kispiox River Lodge.
Yeah, we didn't really mention before that this lodge here, has been the Sportsman's Lodge, since like 70s, 80s, like super early on. So like people have been coming here for 30 plus years. We get some people like, oh my god, I haven't been here in 30 years, and it's like, tell me everything. Totally. Like there is such a deep history before us here. And so that's super cool to hear stories from people who know this place like better than we do from a long time ago, and it's so fun. Yeah. And like this place used to also be like back in the 70s and stuff, I think, like before there were phone lines and stuff, like before everyone had a phone in their house.
And
now we got all these lines everywhere.
what's that story with the pump again, right outside the window?
Yeah,
here?
it used to be like a functional gas pump here. Like there's still lots of logging out here, but back in the day, there used to be. It just like this was a hub out here. There was logging, fishing. Like it was like such an active thing. I think there was you could actually fuel up here, and everything. But yeah, no, this was like one of my favorite parts of this place was way back in the day. People didn't really have phones in the area, but this lodge had a phone. So this was kind of like the place you go to make phone calls and send messages and get messages. And so there was one central phone here and like logbooks. And we have some of those old logbooks still. And so it's so cool. So it's like people leaving, okay, Sue, you got a message from your sister, call, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, music night tonight at our place, bring your instruments. And it's just like, that's Facebook before Facebook. It was like analog Facebook. It's like people showing up, hey, that's comments for me. I'm going to write back. I'm going to call them back or whatever. But it's so cool to see that, like, you see people's like writing change.
Yeah, and to see like, oh, that's like Alf Brady.
Oh my god,
like,
we know Alf.
That's like Joe Sullivan or whatever. Like it's old timers who are like, still
so just
around.
the history of this place, and it's just so rich.
What about murder? Any murders here?
Yeah. Reggie, I'm murdering you tomorrow night.
Yeah, really? Yeah. So, like, are there any ghost stories or anything? Probably don't want that attached to your business, but
any firsthand that I've heard necessarily, or that's like lore around here. I do remember talking to Lee Lee and Dave, the people we bought it from.
Yeah.
Like early on, we were talking business stuff and just this place.
Bored?
What's that?
It's just a huge yawn. It's so normal,
Just
but
a yawny person.
this is getting pretty dull.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wrap this up, please. like to talk about
You're also tapping your foot. I can hear it because I'm like, this guy needs to go for a run.
Yeah.
No, but
He
I'm
needs
like,
to drum.
I
That's what he
can,
needs to do.
I can't sit for too long either. Like I get real, like not only hip problems, but like just antsy and like and tired. Like, and I start yawning too. So no, I don't mean to pick on you, but I obviously am.
That's so funny.
As someone who's, I'm sorry.
It. He's like bored.
I hope I'm not bullying you. We go back to, sorry. And I interrupted your sister, your sweet, sweet sister. Okay, so sorry, you were telling us about somebody who was murdered in the river.
Yes, that I helped with.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I have a vague recollection of Lee telling me when we were chatting about lodge stuff that like at some point when they had it, I don't remember what the situation was, but like someone came to the lodge and was like, no bad spirits here, bad vibes, no.
Oh,
like
God.
this. And she was like, whoa, okay, what's this about? And I don't remember, I wish I remember more details, but I think long story short, like she actually got a woman like from Kispiox, like the village, to come and like kind of cleanse the place, do a little smudge and like suss out the energies, and that worked apparently. Like
good now.
for those experiencing that, it was
Yeah.
like after something happened, it was like, okay, we're good now.
Yeah.
And so I like, I mean, I'm like, I don't know, I'm on a spiritual journey figuring that out, whatever that means for myself. And so I like to like be in tune with that kind of stuff here. And since taking over the place, I have never felt bad like energy, and I think that I'm kind of in tune to that stuff.
Yeah.
For me at least.
Me too. I don't feel any bad. The hall's kind of creepy.
Totally. If it's like I'm at home alone, it's like just me in this place, I won't necessarily walk down the dark hall
The hall's
alone.
creepy.
But it's like it's not because I think they're
Yeah.
It's so small, right?
It's just there's no light in it, so that's all. I know I'm afraid of the dark, but that's a whole other episode.
Yes. But no, we get so many compliments here of like the energy and the vibe here being so good and positive, and so I think that overrules anything else that might be
darkness. Lurking. Yeah. Well, let's wrap up. Because Simon's bored, and back to the bucket list. So you said the children's book, and now, well, both of you could get in on this. The children's book might be a thing. Are there any other things that you're like, I think I want to do that? And yeah, like I'm just...
like in general, or the lodge specifically?
Nah, we talked about the lodge. That's done. It's done and dead.
Yeah. Well, it's like... It's
over.
Done and dead.
Move on, you guys.
Yeah, we're selling the place. Great.
How much?
No, it is more or less with the lodge, but I want to tell you about an idea I've had for a long time before even the lodge we've had. And it's a rafting. I've been rafting for a bunch of years now and stuff, and and talk about the theme around like converging things and and I have an idea for a cool rafting camping music program called Music on the River.
Okay.
Or MORE as an acronym.
Yeah.
And it's taking guests out on a float and floating to a campground. Yep. Where Hannah would already be cooking on a fire.
Yes.
And there's like a vibe and there's like some music, like live music being played.
I'm there. Yeah.
And it's just like a good scene, and then kind of night falls and there's food and there's like lights and stuff, and it's just like a really cool campground that we floated our guests to.
But with music.
With live music. With a live show. So sort of from a consumer point of view or whatever, it's like you kind of buy a ticket, or as a group probably you buy the ticket to go, and then you'd float, and it's like going to a music show at the cafe, but you're actually getting into a raft and floating with a beautiful float to a campground, and that's the show. And tents are set up for you.
This is incredible.
And then we float out the next day, and it's like a
kind of like a luxury camping.
Yeah.
But rustic.
Luxury
I'm sold.
and rustic.
Luxury rustic.
I mean, I'm not going to pay for it because it's going to be expensive and I can't afford anything. But no. But like, honestly, this sounds amazing. I can picture it in my mind.
You would be you'd be the artist.
I'd love to be the artist and slash comedian slash banter.
Yes.
And I have people I could recommend. I'm sure you know lots because of your connections in the music world. But you could even do comedy nights. You could even do famous comedians.
We've done some comedy nights here.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, you're right though. Like anything goes. Like,
but other too, like bring someone along, like you talked about, like storytelling.
I was thinking of storyteller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone from around the area who can really talk some
Cool,
Yeah.
like get sand stories, like local, like history and stuff, and just
Absolutely.
that would be
Yeah.
super cool. Right?
Ghost stories.
Yeah.
I love that idea for you, and I think it's already a success, even though it's not happening yet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any other? I know you're busy. You've got a child. You've got a dog and 2 cats.
Yeah.
And you also dabble in the arts. So there's.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I mean, your hands are full, but like, what do you dream of?
Oh man, I have so many.
Switzerland.
Oh, I'm just like I have ADHD up the ass too, so I just like I have so many different interests. But I don't know. My dream, if I could just snap my fingers, I would have like a create studio, and I would just be in there with all kinds of crafts and supplies.
Well, you could build that here.
Make stuff. Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's
Money to start that.
that'll come.
No, I have I bless his heart for dealing with all my stuff, but I just have like totes and bins of stuff and supplies. I'm an avid thrifter.
Yep.
I just like collect stuff because I have aspirations to create with these said items one day, but that moment is not right now because I'm busy doing something else.
You're busy doing something else. No, I get it. I can see one of your, or a new one even, a cottage here on the property that's dedicated to art. Even groups that want to come and do art, that you facilitate that and can do maybe some funding to help develop that.
Totally. I would like do we could totally have like
artist residencies,
paint classes or whatever. Like I don't teach the paint, but I would partake and everything. But stuff like that would be so cool. I'm really into like embroidery and just like little crafting here and there. Like interior design is such a passion for me, like thrifting, flipping and designing. And so like I
like, you think I put this art on the wall?
No, I didn't think you did. But
I thought maybe my thought
Yeah, I don't want to near anything that is nice. And
you've all got your strengths. You both got your strengths.
Yes.
Well, I love hearing that, and this place allows you to work towards all those things. So that's exciting.
Kind of like what Simon touched on earlier. It's like this place really does bring together everything that we love to do. It's like I get to cook, I get to design the place, I get to decorate, I get to do all the things I like to do here, and Simon gets to do bartend, music,
host music,
outdoor stuff. Like it's everything. It's really cool.
Our official business name is H&S, Hannah and Simon.
That's
Confluence, and it's because it's a
H&S
confluence of what we do.
I've never heard that word.
Yeah, do you know what that means?
The coming together.
Well, it's a river term. It's two rivers.
Did not know that.
It's a confluence of 2 rivers is where they meet.
That's really sweet, you guys. I can't this is adorable.
That's a great one.
I seriously am going to talk to Kathy and Todd about adopting me. It's love. I don't want to say goodbye to you. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to you. Welcome to the Heartbeat Hotline, 1-902-669-4769. I'm the host of A Chat with Heart podcast, Christina Martin, and I'm so excited you called. Leave me your question, a suggestion for the podcast, or a comment about this episode. Please be aware your message may be used on the podcast and social media. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and it's also fine if you want to remain anonymous. Thanks for listening. Have a great fucking day. Hey, thanks for listening to A Chat with Heart, produced by me, Christina Martin. Co-produced and engineered by my partner in life and sound, Dale Murray. Dale's not just a wizard with knobs, he's also a killer singer-songwriter, session musician, and music producer. Go snoop around his world at dalemurray.ca. The podcast theme song, Talk About It, and I Don't Want to Say Goodbye to You were written by me and recorded by Dale. Want to support what we do? You can snag CDs, vinyl, digital music, and some weirdly delightful merch like custom puzzles and temporary tattoo packs over on my Bandcamp. If you're into keeping indie art alive or just want good karma, become a monthly or yearly member on my Patreon. It's a platform that helps creators get paid to keep making stuff we love. I swear by it. Sign up, free or paid, at patreon.com/Christina Martin. If this podcast made you laugh, cry, think, or rage text your best friend. Do me a solid, share it, rate it, review it, and hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And to all my little heartbeat listeners, stay weird, stay tender, and I'll catch you next time.